For so many of us, Tuesday nights meant one thing. The TV was on, the family was together, and the Seavers made everything feel all right. If Growing Pains was part of your living room, part of your childhood, then this one is for you. It's been 4 decades. The cast has changed. A few of their stories will catch you off guard. This wasn't just a sitcom. It was the family we checked in with every week. And those faces we loved never really disappeared. They just kept living. Let's find out where life took them. I'd love to know who you watched Growing Pains with. A parent, a sibling, maybe a best friend on a school night. Those small memories are what this channel is built on. Share yours as we go. We'll start with the Seaver who always had her hand up first. You remember the sound of Carol Seaver, flipping through a textbook like it was a weapon. The eye roll when Mike said something ridiculous. The straight-A sister who never backed down from an argument and never apologized for being the smartest person in the room. For a lot of girls watching at home, Carol was the first time someone on television made being bookish feel like a superpower. Tracy Gold was 16 when she stepped into that role, and she almost didn't get it. Another actress was cast in the pilot before Gold won the part that would define her early career. 7 seasons later, she'd become one of the most recognized faces on American television. Life brought its own challenges after the cameras stopped. She met them with courage and came through stronger. In 2003, she published a memoir about resilience and finding her way back to herself. Today, at 56, Tracy still carries the same spark we remember. She lives in Los Angeles with her husband, Roby Marshall, and their 4 sons. In 2022, she won Worst Cooks in America's Celebrity Edition, proving Carol Seaver's competitive fire never burned out. Last year, she appeared on a podcast reflecting on her Growing Pains years with the kind of honesty that only comes from someone who's made peace with every chapter. She's let her hair go silver, and it suits her. Some things get better when you stop trying to hold on to what was. Ben Seaver was always in motion, scheming in the hallway, sneaking snacks from the kitchen, pulling pranks on Carol and blaming Mike. He was the youngest brother who turned every family moment into something louder, funnier, and completely unpredictable. If you had a little brother growing up, you already knew this kid. And if you were the little brother, Ben made you feel seen. Jeremy Miller was just 8 years old when he landed the role. For 7 seasons, his trademark scream became one of the most reliable laughs on the show. He was also the voice of Linus Van Pelt in 2 beloved Peanuts specials, giving him a quiet second life in animation most fans never connected. After Growing Pains ended, Miller followed an unexpected path. He enrolled at Le Cordon Bleu, trained as a chef, and launched his own catering company. The kid who raided the Seaver fridge ended up building a career around food. At 49, Jeremy wears every year beautifully. He's married, a stepfather of 3, and still active in conventions and appearances where fans light up the moment they hear that scream. In March 2026, he posted a throwback photo from the episode where Chrissy was born, tagging every castmate. The caption read, "When you realize you're not the baby anymore. But here's what stays with me." When life got difficult and Miller hit hard times, it was Alan Thicke who picked up the phone. His TV dad became something much closer to a real one. That part of the story isn't finished yet. There are more Seavers ahead. And one love story from this show never ended. She walked onto the Full House set to visit a friend and caught someone's eye. That someone was Kirk Cameron. A few months later, she was cast as his girlfriend on Growing Pains. The cameras saw them fall in love. So did everyone at home. What most people didn't know is that Chelsea Noble was born Nancy Mueller in Buffalo, New York. She was adopted as a child. Years later, that experience shaped one of the most meaningful decisions she and Kirk would ever make together. Today, at 61, Chelsea radiates the same warmth decades later. She stepped away from Hollywood to raise 6 children with Kirk. 4 of those kids were adopted. She didn't need the spotlight. She chose something that mattered more. Their story picks up again a little later. For now, just know that the love you saw on screen was the real thing. She was 6 years old. That's how young Ashley Johnson was when she joined Growing Pains in its 4th season. Chrissy Seaver didn't need big storylines. She just needed to be there. The smallest face in the room, the one everyone smiled at without thinking. She was the proof that a family isn't complete until somebody new shows up and changes everything. Most viewers lost track of her after the show ended. What happened next is one of the most remarkable second acts in television history. Ashley became a voice actress. Not just any voice actress. She became Ellie in The Last of Us, one of the most celebrated video game performances ever recorded. She won 2 BAFTA awards for the role. Her voice carried a story that moved millions of players around the world. The little girl from the Seaver living room grew up to hold one of gaming's most powerful characters in her hands. And she didn't stop there. For over a decade, she's been a core cast member of Critical Role, a live Dungeons & Dragons series with a massive global following. In 2025, her voice returned in The Last of Us Season 2 on HBO, singing a song that left longtime fans in tears. Earlier this year, she appeared at Emerald City Comic-Con in Seattle, greeted by thousands who knew her not as Chrissy Seaver, but as someone entirely new. At 42, Ashley Johnson is aging with incredible grace, not by standing still, by never stopping. If any of these stories are landing the way they're landing for me, you're going to love what's still ahead. The Seaver parents, the rebel son, and one face that changed cinema forever. I'd love to hear which name brought you here. Picture this: Maggie Seaver, standing in the kitchen with a briefcase in one hand and a packed lunch in the other. That image meant more than most sitcoms ever delivered. In 1985, the working mother on television was still a radical idea. Maggie didn't make excuses. She went back to work as a reporter and kept the family together without missing a beat. For every mom watching who felt pulled in 2 directions, Maggie said, "You don't have to choose." Joanna Kerns was 32 when she won the role. Her chemistry with Thicke was instant. During their audition, she accidentally kissed him on the nose. The producers loved it. 7 seasons of the most believable marriage on network television followed. What most viewers never knew is that Kerns was an athlete long before she was an actress. She competed in the 1968 Olympic gymnastics trials at just 15, finishing 14th in the country. Her older sister, Donna de Verona, is an Olympic gold medalist in swimming. Performance runs deep in that family. After Growing Pains, Kerns made a choice that few sitcom stars attempt. She moved behind the camera. Over 3 decades, she's directed episodes of Grey's Anatomy, Pretty Little Liars, This Is Us, Fuller House, and Scrubs. In 2024 and 2025, she directed episodes of Chicago Med and Happy's Place. At 73, time has only deepened her elegance. She's still working, still choosing the next challenge. Life tested her in ways the public rarely saw. She faced those moments with the same steady resolve Maggie Seaver would have admired. And she came through. The rebel son is next, and his story took a turn that nobody in 1985 could have predicted. Every generation gets one. The kid on television who makes trouble look charming and getting grounded feel like a badge of honor. For a whole decade of teenagers, that kid was Mike Seaver. He talked his way out of everything. He winked at the camera like he knew you were on his side. And somehow, underneath all the schemes, you always knew his heart was in the right place. Mike didn't teach you to behave. He taught you it was okay not to. Kirk Cameron was 14 when he became that kid. By the time he was 16, he was receiving 10,000 fan letters a week. 2 Golden Globe nominations followed. He was one of the most famous teenagers in America. Then, something shifted. On set, Cameron found faith. It changed the direction of his life in ways the tabloids never fully understood. What matters here is what he built with it. He married Chelsea Noble in 1991. The on-screen romance from Growing Pains became a 34-year marriage. Together, they adopted 4 children and welcomed 2 more. They founded Camp Firefly, giving terminally ill kids and their families a week they'd never forget. Today, at 55, the years have only sharpened that familiar grin. Cameron hosts his own talk show and a weekly program on TBN that's been running since 2021. In March 2026, he headlined a speaking event in Naples, Florida. He writes children's books. He shows up, not for the spotlight, but for the work he believes in. Remember Chelsea Noble from a few minutes ago? She's still right beside him. Some love stories don't need a sequel. They just keep going. But before we close, there's one more name, the one this story has been building toward. The one who made the Seaver living room feel like home for all of us. What if one season on a family sitcom could change the course of an entire life? Leonardo DiCaprio was 16 when he showed up on Growing Pains. He played Luke Brower, a homeless teenager taken in by the Seavers in the show's final season. It was a small window, just a handful of episodes, but even then, something about him was different. He didn't just deliver lines, he made you feel them. Luke Brower was the outsider who found a place at the table. For anyone who ever felt like they didn't quite fit in, he was the proof that the right family will find you. You don't have to be born into it. You just have to be welcomed. Within 2 years of leaving the Seavers' house, DiCaprio earned his first Oscar nomination for What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He was 19. Then came Romeo and Juliet. Then Titanic. Then a career that has never slowed down and never repeated itself. The Aviator, The Departed, Inception, Django Unchained, The Wolf of Wall Street. He won his first Academy Award for The Revenant in 2016. In 2025, he starred in One Battle After Another, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. The film won Best Picture at the 98th Academy Awards. DiCaprio earned his 6th Best Actor nomination. At the ceremony, he shared a warm embrace with the winner, Michael B. Jordan. A moment of genuine respect and grace that doesn't come from competition. It comes from knowing exactly who you are. At 51, he moves through the world with a gravity he's earned. He's currently filming What Happens at Night with Martin Scorsese and Jennifer Lawrence. 3 decades after the Seavers took him in, the kid from the last season is still the one everyone's watching. And when Alan Thicke passed away in 2016, DiCaprio was there. He sat in the front row at the funeral, because the Seavers weren't just a TV family. For a little while, they were his. Close your eyes for a second and hear it. Those piano notes at the beginning, the family photos flipping by, everybody getting a little older, frame by frame. As long as we got each other. That song wasn't just a theme, it was a promise. And the man at the center of that promise was Alan Thicke. Dr. Jason Seaver was the father who moved his office into the house so he'd never miss a moment. He didn't lecture from above. He sat down. He listened. He made you believe that no matter how badly you'd messed up, someone in that house still had your back. For millions of families tuning in every week, Jason Seaver was the dad they wished was waiting at home. Patient, present, never too busy for the hard conversation. Alan Thicke was 38 when the show began. He brought something to that kitchen table that no script could manufacture. The warmth was real. The timing was his. Between takes, the cast couldn't stop laughing. Jeremy Miller called him my other dad. Kirk Cameron said he was one of the most caring men he'd ever known. That wasn't television. That was the man. What most viewers never realized is that Thicke was also the mind behind some of the most familiar sounds in television history. He co-wrote the theme songs for Different Strokes, The Facts of Life, and the original Wheel of Fortune. The melodies that welcomed America home every evening came from the same person who welcomed the Seaver kids home every episode. In 2013, Canada honored him with an induction into the Walk of Fame. He kept working, kept showing up. In October 2016, he appeared in the pilot of This Is Us. 2 months later, he was playing hockey with his son Carter in Burbank. Alan Thicke left us on December 13, 2016. He was 69 years old. The entire Growing Pains cast came together one last time at his memorial. Leonardo DiCaprio, Kirk Cameron, Tracy Gold, Joanna Kerns, Jeremy Miller. 300 people filled the room. His son Robin spoke. Bob Saget delivered the eulogy. It wasn't a Hollywood event. It was a family saying goodbye to its father. In 2025, Robin Thicke honored his dad at his own wedding. A few months before that, he performed As Long as We Got Each Other on The Masked Singer, surrounded by old photos that mimicked the Growing Pains opening credits. The audience cried. So did he. The song is still playing. The photos are still flipping. And somewhere, Dr. Jason Seaver is still leaning back in his chair, waiting for one of the kids to walk through the door. But we can't close this story without honoring the heart at its center. Alan Thicke gave us something television rarely offers: a father who felt true. Not perfect, not scripted, just present. He showed up for his TV family the same way he showed up for his real one. Every phone call returned, every laugh genuine. He left us in 2016 at 69. But here is what he also left: a theme song that still plays in living rooms around the world, a cast that still calls each other family, a son who sings his melody at the moments that matter most, and a generation of viewers who still hear his voice when they think about what a good father sounds like. Every rerun is a small hello. Some shows just hold you differently. Growing Pains wasn't trying to change the world. It was trying to remind us that the people at our table were enough. And it did. Somewhere, As Long as We Got Each Other is still playing. Carol is still studying. Mike is still scheming. And Jason Seaver is still home. So let me ask you, when you think of Growing Pains, who were you sitting next to? Tell me about that person. I read every comment, and those memories are why I'm here. There are more stories like this one waiting. More faces, more living rooms, more Tuesday nights we used to know. Until next time, take care of that memory.